frosted glass.
Woo! Welcome to Death Curse Society, gang. We're back with a whole new episode, and we got a lot to talk about, including a new Netflix movie and a bunch of trailers. We're going to get started pretty soon. I'm your host, Red Crank. I got the Colonel, and I got Zigzag. Woo! Everybody's excited right now, so let's go camping.
You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? You'll never come back again. It's got a death curse.
Our Let's Go Camping topic this time around is Netflix's latest movie that they just released over the weekend. Extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile. It's the new Ted Bundy docudrama. Colonel, get us started on that. What'd you think of this movie?
Guess my overall reaction was, okay, that was all right. I mean, I had it way hyped up, as you guys know from past episodes. I let my feels get in the way. Probably put this movie too high on a pedestal before I watched it. It kind of felt like it was one long trailer leading to the main courtroom drama, the one where he finally got nailed and sentenced to the death penalty in Florida. Again, the cast was great. I mean, I was really stoked to see Michael Weston before he got burned by the CIA as his lawyer in Utah. I wish I knew the actor's name. I'm sorry. He will forever be Michael Weston to me. Jeffrey
motherfucking Donovan.
Okay, Jeffrey Donovan. You're still Michael Weston. I'm not changing that. I was still pumped to see that. I was very aware of the fact that I was watching Zac Efron. I had a hard time watching him, but I still think he did an overall decent job acting-wise. I was impressed, but it still was kind of like watching a Tom Cruise movie. I'm aware of the fact I'm watching Tom Cruise. Yeah. It's hard to see him as Ted Bundy because he was all fucking jacked and ripped. And, of course, they had to show his ass a couple times and show his abs a few times for the ladies. Yeah, it was good. I mean... Actually, I kind of liked the fact that they didn't have any violence or much violence in the movie. I applauded them for that. I really liked it. Yeah, man, they just threw too much of it too quick. Poor James Hetfield was only in the movie for like 30 seconds. That was another big disappointment. And he didn't even say, yeah, like I was hoping. Watch it. But I would advise watching that, then watching the Ted Bundy tapes if you haven't seen it already. They'll fill in all the gaps that movie leaves. They would go great together. It's a great pairing, like cheese and wine. They're both good separate, but they're much better together.
Yes, I agree. I definitely want to watch the Ted Bundy tapes again now that I've seen this movie, just to kind of get some realism added to the docudrama of it. Ziggy, what do you think of it?
I actually surprisingly right on the mark with the Colonel here with this one. I found it very middle of the road after we kind of hyped it up. Netflix has been cranking out some pretty good, polished material the last couple of years, and I had high hopes for this as well. I want to get on that Ted Bundy tape thing with you guys as well. I mean, I think pumping in some of that real footage like that, real photos like they do in that one would really extend this one a lot better. I mean, if you could, wine and cheese, man, that's deadly good. This is based on the book, The Phantom Prince, My Life with Ted Bundy, written by his girlfriend, Elizabeth Kendall. And it's kind of told from her perspective, so the asses and the abs kind of make sense in that aspect, because it's from her point of view. I personally wanted to see some violence. I thought Zac Efron looked amazingly close to Ted Bundy. That I don't connect with you at all with. I was like, what the fuck? And as a matter of fact, all the characters, I mean, I love the wardrobe. That they should get some kind of award for the job they did on the makeup and the hair on all these clowns. It really fit, man. I grew up through that shit. I remember. Malkovich is in it again. He keeps showing up. I guess he's, as Crank has said before, he is the Netflix bitch. He's what they got a movie. He's in it. He doesn't care what it is.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I want to go on record because I don't want John Malkovich mad at me. I never called him the Netflix bitch. I just said he likes to park himself in the Netflix offices and just show up in a movie and be like, hey, I'm in your movie for a minute, and then get the hell out.
We love you, John. We love you. No aggression, man. No beef.
Don't you get him after my ass. I don't want that.
I won't, man.
Go ahead, though.
Cranky old man. You don't know what a fucking eccentric motherfucker might do. We got a few other stars that stopped by to get in on this. Jim Parsons, Big Bang Theory, Haley Joel Osment, sees dead people. I mean, you know what I mean? Holy shit. Looks like he's been doing nothing but eating the last 20 years. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Over and over, Twinkies.
Wow. James Hetfield, yes, 30 seconds, but it was glorious. First time in a movie outside of being in a concert movie. So, yeah, it was cool, man. I dug it. I dug it a lot. Overall, I was expecting a bit of a horror movie here, and what we got was a middle-of-the-road kind of drama, court drama, outside of the way they looked and everything. You know, I say see this movie, but it's, you know, if you miss it, you won't lose any sleep.
One actor you forgot to mention is Terry Kinney, who is like one of those great character actors that just kind of pops up every now and then. I haven't seen him in a while, but he shows up in this as the detective from Colorado, I think. Great job, shitty hair, just such a good actor. Like Colonel said, Jeffrey Donovan's in it. When I finally realized that was Jeffrey Donovan, because I watched him for like a few minutes and I heard this voice. I was like, son of a bitch, that's Michael Weston. You know, and I started looking at him a little closer and finally like cut the bottom half of his face off and saw it. I was like, all right. Lily Collins as the girlfriend, fucking amazing, man. She had some work to do in that film, especially emotional wise. And she went through it, just straight through it. Like you said, Haley Joel Osment just surprised the hell out of me once I spotted that was him. Zac Efron, though, of course, carries the weight of this movie. And like they have kind of said, it's not a horror movie per se. It's definitely more of a docudrama or a biopic. But it's talking about, and it deals with some horrific elements that were true, obviously, the whole Ted Bundy murders and everything. Normally, I wouldn't think this would belong in this show, but I know Colonel's a huge Ted Bundy, not fan, but he likes the serial killers and stuff like that. I'm a big fan of true crime. I like following stuff like this. I kind of followed it, not necessarily at the time that it happened. I was a little too young. It was definitely a case I looked into when I got older and more aware. And I love the fact that they didn't over-sensationalize it, even though they did kind of romanticize Ted Bundy in this a little bit too much for me. That was probably my biggest complaint. Did you have something to add on that, Zag?
Just that's kind of how it was really portrayed as how he was. Very charming, very, you know what I mean? So that I got that, you know, so when they did the romanticizing like that, it worked for me.
I don't necessarily mean romanticized as in like a romantic involvement between him and Lily Collins' character.
No, just he could charm anybody, the cops, you know, I mean, he was very likable. You know what I mean? If that's what you were getting at, I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong here.
No, and I get that. I get that part of his personality as well. Just the overall likability of him. I'm talking about just almost making it cool that he's a serial killer and he's being able to hide it from all these people. The main theme of the movie to me is almost don't let people manipulate you. Because that was his most successful trait, was the way he was able to manipulate the people that were in his life, and even the lawyers and even the judge at some points during the trial. Especially Liz, though, the way he was able to just manipulate her and keep her on that string of, do you have the hope in me that I have? That just dragging that out for how many years? 10, 15 years? That's the extremely wicked, shockingly evil, and vile part of him. I thought it was a great movie. I really enjoyed it. I would recommend it to people.
He played on an old, the tradition, whatever you want to call it, from a woman's perspective. I can fix him.
that if he just really threw some good dick on her and she just couldn't give him up.
Well, you know,
maybe.
Who knows? He had a lot of practice with the dead bodies. I might learn a new few tricks. Who knows?
I mean, you think death would be bad enough, wouldn't you? What could be worse than fucking death? And I'm ready to spend eternity in heaven, be with Jesus, and Rock of Ages. Hey, what's this shit? Oh, I don't believe this! There's a guy's dick in my ass! Oh, you mean life keeps fucking you in the ass even after you're dead? Oh, it never ends, it never ends! Oh!
I think this could work for different people based on your imagination, because a lot of it, most of it is left to that in this. And so, you know, if you have a good imagination, you might find this a little bit better than what we did. I don't know. I mean, and then someone who maybe doesn't, you know, it's going to seem a little plain, a little bland.
Well, if you know if you know even the basic details about like the Ted Bundy case and like what his murders were about, you kind of need to have that information to enjoy this movie. If you don't, this movie's going to leave a lot for you. So
right. So I think the younger audiences are probably not dig this as much, honestly. I mean, based on that, because unless you do go research what he did and see some of those fucking pictures, I mean, right. It's just not going to have the impact.
I kind of enjoyed the fact that it was from Liz's perspective, and it wasn't just a retreading and a rehashing of, oh, he's going to kill this girl in Colorado. Oh, he's going to kill these girls in Washington. Oh, he's going to kill these girls in Florida. It's not going through the motions of showing those murders. It's just talking about it like after the fact. And I kind of like that about it because it made the movie different than almost any other Ted Bundy thing we've ever seen. Guys, if you're not too knowledgeable about Ted Bundy and what he's done, watch the Ted Bundy tapes after you've seen this movie or before even. Pair them together, like Colonel says, wine and cheese, which is good stuff.
I'd say watch the tapes first. That way you have, when they start talking about the specific things you're going to hear about, you'll have that in your mind already.
Let me ask you guys a question. Are there, besides the Ted Bundy tapes and the summer school movie, made-for-TV movie, are there any other Ted Bundy projects out there that you would recommend to someone that wants to watch this? I know Colonel probably has a few.
A few. I'm just going to go with one. 2002's Ted Bundy. Fuck. Okay, I seen this movie when I was like 18, okay? I probably wouldn't find it nearly as hilarious now as I did then. I thought it was a straight-up fucking comedy. That was awesome. And I got yelled at by my sister for thinking the movie was funny instead of being terrible. But you gotta watch it. Just on the shit like that. You're going yourself, man. You gotta watch it. It's terribly good. Terribly good.
I had a feeling you were going to mention that one, but is there a more serious one, like a documentary or anything that you would recommend?
No. How could you get any more serious than that? Come on, man. That's the Colonel. Do I ever take anything too serious?
All right, fair enough. Zag, you got anything to throw in on that?
You know, I can't think of it by name, but there was one that it was a show that used to kind of go into these kind of people. You know, it wasn't always a serial killer, but it'd be a bad crime, you know, and they'd always tear it down. It's 45 minutes. Probably look on YouTube. I don't know. You're just going to have to search and watch, and it's a real good one. I know that. It really gets into, they talk to a lot of police and everything that were, you know, in the pursuit and everything. It was good. It was really good. But I can't, for the life of me, I cannot think of the show's name. I'm almost 100% positive I watched it on YouTube, though. So get to search it.
Like I said, I liked it. It seems like these guys were kind of 50-50 on it. Definitely, like we said, not a horror movie, but interesting to check out. So is that a DCS recommends? I'd probably give it about a 7 out of 10. What about you guys? 6?
Yeah, 6.
Yeah. So that's not too bad. Not a high recommendation from the DCS, but yeah. If you're into Ted Bundy, if you're into serial killers, true crime in general, it's worth a watch. I want to touch on this just briefly, but there was a lot of controversy about women talking about how hot Zac Efron is as Ted Bundy, and it got a little flack in today's social media and even the news media in general. I thought that was fitting because shit, back in '79, that's exactly what happened. And you didn't have social media, but you had women flocking to Florida for this nationally televised trial just to get close to Ted Bundy for a little bit because he was somewhat of an attractive man. And it just blew my mind. Did you have anything to add on that kind of controversy and that tie-in, Colonel?
No, other than what's the controversy? Like you said, it happened 40, 50 years ago. It happened again today. What's so shocking?
What, that the pigs that showed up there to throw their panties at fucking Ted Bundy and shit? That's kind of what it was about, just character, I guess, judgment.
Yeah, but I just think it's kind of ironic that it's happening again in even a kind of a modernized style rather than them going to his trial or showing up at Zac Efron's house. They're talking about how hot he is as Ted Bundy on social media, kind of the same way they did 40-something years ago in Florida for the trial. It's just life imitating art in a weird sort of way, you know?
You know, I mean, it just won't last as long this time. Now it's just a blurb and then it's gone. You know, some people will get offended and, hey, here's my new apple turnover recipe. Bang. You know what I mean?
Man, show me a video of a cat. There's some cute animals. Everybody forget about it.
It's time for a revival of Keyboard Cat, isn't it?
Yeah.
The cat's probably dead now, though. That's the sad part, if you think about it.
Man, you had to go there, huh?
But, hey, always end on a high note.
Jesus, Colonel. Well, shit. I guess
we could do one of those like Fantastic Voyage things where the thing goes in the cat, you know, like through the system. We could call it Inside the Pussy.
Oh, God. Oh, boy. All right. On that note, that's going to wrap it up, or let's go camping, I think. Thank you for tuning in. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back right after this. Stick around.
Yeah.
God damn it, guys.
Never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, say, I'll be right back. Because you won't be back.
I'm getting another beer. You want one?
Yeah, sure.
I'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tom Savini, and you're watching Death Curse Society. But why?
We're back with Death Curse Society, gang. We got tons of stuff to talk to you about in our segment we like to call Stories Around the Campfire.
I don't want to scare anyone, but I'm going to give it to you straight about Jason.
Hey, come back, come back.
All right, our first piece of business on Stories Around the Campfire is a new fan film coming out, I believe in September, called Voorhees. We've got a new teaser trailer for it. Check this out, and we'll be right back.
I can't believe it's been 5 years. Are you gonna be okay?
People go crossing into his grounds, they're gone for good. They don't know what's out there.
Smile, though your heart is aching. Smile, even though it's breaking. When there are clouds in the sky, you'll get by if you smile. Through your fear and sorrow, smile, and maybe tomorrow you'll find that life is still worthwhile if you just
So Voorhees comes out September 13th. Let's see what these guys think about it. Colonel.
Okay, so here's what I thought about the Voorhees trailer, because let's be honest, until the lawsuit is figured out, this is what we got. Fan films. I thought it looked decent for what it was, man. Based on the trailer, it almost looks like Jason is kind of like a background story based on this trailer. I don't know if you guys picked up on that. I thought that was very strange, but like I said, he looked good for what they can do with copyright issues. I love the fact you saw some original set locations from the first Friday the 13th. I really dig that. I mean, I think this one could be pretty good. Right up there with Never Hike Alone. Like I really thought Never Hike Alone was pretty good for what it was until the ending. That ending really ruined it for me. But up until that point, it was pretty good. So I think this one will be worth watching. I'll definitely watch it because, like I said, this is all we're going to get, folks.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks like it's filmed good. Some of the special effects don't look great. I'm sure Zag will mention this too, but the acting looks terrible. I'm not too thrilled about what this storyline is because it looks like it kind of starts with this girl going to visit maybe her father's grave or some relative's grave. Something happens with them. They meet some bank robbers, something like that. And then Jason shows up out of the blue, kind of like Colonel said, almost like an afterthought. Oh, yeah, Jason's here. That seems like a reach to me.
We've come a long way from the old Betamax in the backyard, you know, and when you can hear like traffic going by and shit, people were making movies and, you know, the costume was from Walmart, you know what I mean? One of them cheap plastic hockey masks. With stuff like this lawsuit going on, some of these independent fanfare movies are getting some buzz. Voorhees, it's been kicking around for close to a year now, I think. We saw the trailer quite a while ago. Look, man, I'm trying to accept these movies now as what they are, but just as fun tributes and entertainment and everything. I'm getting better, man, but still, some things, as you know, Maximum Overdrive, Kid with the Red Hat, some of it gets under my craw and I can't let go. Fortunately, I didn't feel that way too much about Voorhees. It looks bad. I mean, but some of it, sometimes bad acting is funny and you can go with it. And this isn't a big, serious block, big theater movie, so I'm okay with it. The story, I disagree. I think that sounds interesting. It's something new. Bank robbers or some kind of just bad people. She may be forced to go with them or stay with them against her will. Can't really tell. Bad draw. You picked the wrong place to hide out, bro. You guys got a serial killer here in a hockey mask. So, I mean, yes, it's a reach, it's a stretch, but it is what it is. And we're going to watch it. We're ready. I know what I expect. I mean, like Colonel said, we both, Colonel Crank 2, we all enjoyed Never Hike Alone, ending pretty weak, twist aside. We're not going to get any more Fridays for at least 2, 3, 4 more years in the big screen. So this is all we're going to get. This community is wonderful. The horror community, let's lift it. If it's any good, let's give them their due. And, no hate. And we'll give it its day in court. I mean, if it really sucks, guys, I'm sorry. This is what we do. We're going to tear you down, man. But we're ready for you. Bring on Voorhees.
I'm not trying to be too negative about it to bring it down. There are creative people out there, and I think these creative people should be able to get together and make something very good. I mean, they're making films that look great. They're making costumes and makeup that look great out there. But then it comes down to, well, I'm going to cast this chick I want to bang, Really?
I think it's a simple question of money. I mean, you don't have the budget that the big movie would have in the movie industry. I'm sure they're probably spending, I'm guessing, $20,000 to $30,000 on this, maybe a little more. I'm not sure, but yeah, I mean, when it comes to the actors, they can't afford anybody. If they're casting their sister and their best friends and shit, then you're fucking up. And you know what we say, don't fuck it up. But I mean, you're kind of fucking it up. You should do your best effort, get your best possible execution of the material. That's how you win.
Yeah, and you got to remember, a lot of these fan films, the majority of their money is coming from crowdfunding, like GoFundMe and so on and so forth. You can only draw so much money out of one pool.
Right.
I mean, there's a very strict budget. I mean, I'll be honest, if I was making a movie, especially if it was horror-related, and I had a very tight budget, I'd probably go the route of, like, say, Wolf Cop. 85% of my money is going towards special effects alone. To me, that's what's going to sell the movie. Most horror movies are acting shit regardless. It doesn't matter. And let's flash back to what I said a couple weeks ago. A piece of shit is still a piece of shit. It could be a nice shit or a shitty shit. It just depends on how you look at it.
Are we going back to that?
I found you can find that in fortune cooking like 10 years from now. A piece of shit's still a piece of shit, but it could be nice looking.
Colonel's cookies.
Trademark that shit right now.
There you
Hashtag.
go. Here's the thing, though. I know good actors in my town. If I was going to make a film, I know a handful of like 8 to 10 people that I would say, hey, I want you to do this film. That's got to be the same way in other communities and in other places. You've got community theater all over the place. Not all community theater sucks.
Maybe they did, and maybe they didn't get any interest in that. You know, I find that hard to believe, though. I think that any kind of film company like that would be sending droves of people over there to get into something like this, just for the exposure.
I don't know about that, because I see some of these fan films and like everyone's last name is the same. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you just cast your friends and family. All right. Well, that's stupid. Don't do that.
Bad call.
Just because, you know, Becky from Highland Park can give a good blowjob doesn't mean she can act very well. If you're doing it for the blowjobs, that's fine. Good. Go for it. Just don't force us to watch it.
I'll be holding auditions for that role later this week. Send resumes to Zigzag at Death Curse Society. Thank you.
Curious about what? All right, so you're zigzagging roles of people to receive the blowjob? Is that what you're doing?
And that's where I'm going to be.
Right? Like
this is a female-only role, unfortunately. And we're going to stop there because...
Where are we going?
I don't know.
Whatever you say, Andy Dick from Old School.
I just, Andy Dick would not be invited to this, not even in drag, you know what I mean? I don't want the chick that does the Call Me Ma'am from the convenience store, none of that shit, okay? This is a specific role. Moving along.
So check out Voorhees dropping on YouTube September 13th. Like I say, I'm looking forward to it. I have higher expectations for these things. That's all I'm saying. So come on, baby. Give me something I can celebrate with you. Next up on Stories Around the Campfire is the new movie, The Intruder, which just dropped in theaters this weekend. We're going to go see it here pretty soon, hopefully. Check this trailer out, and we'll come back and talk about it here.
You remember that conversation we had about grabbing that house up in Napa?
I want a house. I want a family. I want our kids to be able to play outside.
This is it, 6741.
This is so pretty.
I'm Charlie Peck.
Scott Howard.
Welcome to Foxglove.
My great-great-grandfather built this house. It's the only house I ever lived in.
I put my soul into it.
Foxglove is yours now.
We'll take good care of her. I feel bad for him.
I feel bad for Charlie. Feel good for us.
You're not gonna believe this. Charlie is outside cutting the grass.
What?
Did you just get this out of the garage?
That's why I keep it.
Thought you'd be gone by now.
That's hard to say goodbye.
I keep hearing this creaking sound.
Manny, it's an old house.
You just bought the Peck house, right?
Yeah.
Charlie's quite a guy. Just don't look too close under the mask. His wife died in that house. Mrs. Charlie took Mr. Charlie's shotgun in her mouth. At least that's how Charlie explained it.
Hey! Stop drilling holes in my house!
The man acts like the house still belongs to him.
Honey, he's lonely.
You okay?
It's not your house. This guy is dangerous. I've seen the way that he looks at you.
Now Charlie is after me.
Stay away from my wife.
If you lost everything that was important, and then you had a chance to get it back, wouldn't you just go for it?
Lights out! Hey!
It's okay. Okay, we're not dying today.
Everything I do
So that is the trailer for The Intruder, starring Dennis Quaid, which is in theaters now. Let's talk to Zigzag about this one. Tell us what you think of it.
Yeah, lifelong Dennis Quaid fan, back from the days when he played the struggling, starving filmmaker that took in a severely retarded 65-year-old man in the movie called Bill with Mickey Rooney. And that's when I fell in love with Dennis Quaid. Dreamscape, Inner Space. Yeah, he's Doc Holliday in the less cool version of Wyatt Earp.
Yeah.
And yeah, he's great, and here we go, and he's now a fucking psychopath, which I love. The look in his face, the look in his eyes, and what stem cell embryos is he sucking up to look like he does at almost 70 years old? What the fuck? What's going on here, man? Just like he's the guy next door kind of thing. You say, I'm going to be your buddy, almost Cable Guy-esque, the way he just kind of gloms onto the family and everything, and then...
But a lot darker.
Oh, man, he goes to hell in a quickness and just psychotic. Looks great. So I'm in. Love movies like this. And again, I'm such a Dennis Quaid fan that's enough for me right there. So I'm in. We'll talk to you in a couple weeks on this one.
Yeah, it looks good. With being a home invasion film, it looks intense. I'm not the biggest fan of home invasion films. There's about as many home invasion films that are fucking zombie films and vampire films, and I'm glad you're so ecstatic about it, Zag. That gives me hopes for when it comes out to Redbox or Netflix when I watch it. But no, it means that me saying it looks like a terrible movie. It just doesn't really grab my interest. I've seen this movie before. As far as the horror genre goes, that's not high on my list. I know we've seen a lot of these movies before, but home invasion films are kind of close to the bottom for me.
It has like a little bit of that. Remember The Stepfather back in the day, and they remade it recently. I mean, that I thought of that right away too, watching that trailer. I mean, so I like this kind of thing, and Last House on the Left, anything like that is always cool. So, and again, I just, like I said, I love Dennis Quaid, man. It's unnatural. I get what Colonel's saying because these things have been murdered, no pun, as far as the stories being told. But again, Dennis Quaid, so fuck you.
The thing I like about movies like this aren't necessarily the theme of the movie, but I love when you take a generally adored actor like Dennis Quaid and finally put him in something that makes him the bad guy. It kind of reminds me of the 80s movie Pacific Heights with Michael Keaton and Matthew Modine and the chick with the big hair. I can't remember her name right now, but she was popular back in the 80s. But do you guys remember Pacific Heights?
I do.
Love that movie. I thought Michael Keaton was fascinating in that.
Yes, he's so off. What I mean?
It was just one of those first times. Batman, yes, he had a little bit of darkness to him, but this was one of those that was like, holy shit, this guy is fucking insane. And I think that's the same kind of thing that's going to happen with this with Dennis Quaid.
I mean, just look at it this way. You had like the movie Fear with Mark Wahlberg, that kind of thing. What was that? The Talented Mr. Brooks. Remember that one with that was another off character where it was a nice guy turned bad. That's what this is going to be. And, I love those twists like that. And plus, it's Dennis Quaid. And, he was in Jaws 3. You know what I mean? I mean, this is great.
Is this who you were trying to get to audition for you in the last segment? You want to say?
Sounds like it.
Well, I probably would put me on the other side of not the receiving end, but,
Doesn't sound.
No.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell's going on here.
This is crazy. What happened?
Talking about fear, can you imagine how many girls got finger banged on a roller coaster in the mid-'90s after the movie came out? Or at least someone tried to finger bang them on a roller coaster after that movie came out?
Tell me you didn't do that.
He did it.
No, I didn't. I'm just legit curious how many people have tried.
Of course, I didn't.
I didn't.
I didn't even have pubes when that movie came out, man. What are you guys talking about? It came out, what, 95? Fuck, I was just turning 11. I might have had one. I wasn't thinking about finger banging chicks on the roller. I just knew how that looked like fun.
How do we fall down this rabbit hole every time?
Every fucking topic.
Every time. Start the engine. Let's go. Dennis?
God. All right. The Intruder is in theaters now. We're moving on.
Dennis?
Stop! Don't be gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that.
We're not gay. Not
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
No, of course not.
I mean, it's fine if that's who you are.
Absolutely.
I mean, I have many gay friends.
My father's gay.
Another movie coming out May 31st is Ma in theaters. Check this trailer out. We'll be back. I told you we had a lot of trailers.
Are you going to meet a boy? No sex or booze.
Okay. Woo! Maggie came to party. Let's get filthy. What you sipping on? I got you talking crazy.
Excuse me, can you buy some booze for my friends and I?
Not interested.
Please?
Hell.
Woo! There's my girl.
This never happened, okay?
Thanks again for doing this, ma'am.
You guys want to party like rock stars? Follow me.
Let's get drunk!
The bar is open.
What do you think? We don't know this chick.
It ain't much, but it's all you.
Cool basement.
You're free to do whatever you want down here, but nobody go upstairs.
This is so sick.
Welcome to Mars.
What? Love Ma?
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
How did she get our numbers?
You know where the party is. Those earrings are beautiful, Maggie. You got a sweet mama, huh?
Who are you with? Just some kids from school.
You have a boyfriend. Men are dogs.
There's something off about Ma.
Seriously? She's harmless. And her basement's pretty much the best drinking spot in town.
We can't go up there. Shh. What the hell?
Thanks for these earrings.
What happened last night?
You don't remember, do you?
Are you guys mad at me for something?
I don't want to hang out at Ma's anymore.
Don't make me drink alone. Don't make me drink alone.
Max, I want you to meet someone.
Nice to meet you, Maggie.
We went to high school together.
Why's my son
You smell just like your daddy.
spending time at your house?
Hey, guys.
That bitch is crazy.
Probably something wrong with me. How does it feel to be on the outside, looking in? Let's get this party turned up.
Why are you doing this?
This is the most fun I've had in a long time.
So that's Ma in theaters May 31st. The perfect Mother's Day movie, right, guys? Starring Octavia Spencer. Colonel, what do you think of Ma?
Here's what I think about Ma.
Uh-oh.
Nah. What? It does not intrigue me.
You've been waiting to do that all show, haven't you?
I have been. That's been tucked away in my brain. Ma? Nah. But I can see where this movie's going to work with the younger generation. Hey, there's some cool older ladies going to let her party at her house. She's fucking awesome. And then she starts making out with kids and sewing their mouth shut. I mean, if I was a teenager, I was really looking forward to this film. Now I'm just a weird old guy who lets the kids come in and party in his house. I don't fucking know. Not really. Come on, Crank. I don't do that. I got kids. I can't do that.
Well, I was going to say, your kids are real young.
Yeah, but still.
If they're boozing it up already, then something's wrong here.
Hey, I'd rather them booze it up in my house where I can supervise them and make sure they're safe.
True, but at least get them into their teens before
I just grabbed the sippy cup, pouring some MD 2020, so here you go, here's some orange juice.
Jesus Christ. Where are we going? We're going to hell. You're going to make us go to hell.
Whoa! You're going to hell. You're going to hell, and we're going to hell for watching this.
Zigzag, jump in here and save me. Mom.
The actions of the Colonel do not necessarily reflect the actions of Crank and myself. Please send and direct hate mail towards him. We do not give alcohol to babies, nor do we endorse the action or idea.
If
Colonel, you're fired.
Really? I'm not the one holding auditions.
Yeah.
So I'm the bad guy in all this.
Let's just say he's not wanting to suck Dennis Quaid's dick. So
one's got nothing to do with the other. Now let's get back on task here.
Oh, okay. Now he wants to get on topic. All right.
Ma. Not to tie it back to Dennis Quaid and his movie, but I find this very kind of in the same vein. You have a regular citizen who appears really cool, then all of a sudden they turn into a twisted fuck, and they're all over your shit and in every aspect of your life. Now, granted, these are young punk kids that don't know anything. A lot easier to take advantage of. Sorry. Get your shit straight. Octavia Spencer, you creepy bitch. Awesome. You look perfect for this role, and it's probably the main reason. If I get to the theater to see this one, you'll be the reason. It did reveal a lot, if you're paying attention to the trailer, what might be happening. So, I mean, big spoilers in there. It does look pretty good. Looks like a fun romp.
That's kind of what I like about this this trailer and potentially this movie is it's kind of a classic telling, you know. Hey, kids are going somewhere to have a party. They're isolated, they're alone, and there's some weird person there that's trying to do harm to them. It's kind of that classic tale. It's just kind of condensed, and you meet the person that is the antagonist, which is kind of different. So I like that aspect of it.
Yeah.
You know, and I like the aspect of, I always like when you meet a character, even if they give it away in the trailer, but you meet a character and they switch 180 degrees on you and become something completely different. Kind of like we talked about in The Intruder. I think Octavia Spencer is going to pull this off very well in Ma, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be interesting.
Something I thought of when I was watching the trailer, again, I like to connect it to other things I've seen, obviously, if you haven't been paying attention. Single white female, think of that. You know, the way she kind of weaseled into her life and took it over.
Right.
Looks kind of that kind of thing, you know, where she's just, you know, somehow she's tapped into all their phones already. And then the next thing you know, she's in her house with her fucking mom, you know. And it looks like, again, one of these moms who's best friends with her daughter, with her teenage daughter, no father in sight anywhere, and you're going to be her best friend. And there she goes off to drink and party and have sex.
Oh, yeah.
Tisk.
If you guys are too young to remember Single White Female, which is what is that, early 90s movie?
Yes.
Okay. If you guys are too young for that, there was also The Roommate with Minka Kelly that came out a few years ago that's kind of similar. So yeah, Ma in theaters, May 31st. Take your mom for Mother's Day. Why the hell not? Next up, a little convention news. Kansas City, Crypticon, July 12th through the 14th. A couple of us are going to be there. I'm finally going to make it to a con. Yeah, Colonel's going to sit this one out. It's a little bit too far away from him. But they finally got one into my area of the United States. So I'm going to take the big hulking, Incredible Hulk minivan and try to make it to KC to check out this. Zag, you ready for this? We've never met.
We never met in person, baby, so I don't know what's going to happen. This could be crazy. You know, I mean, we might call Dennis Quaid. I don't know what's going to happen.
There are good callbacks, and then there are bad callbacks. Just so you know. Don't include me in your cockfest with Dennis Quaid. I don't want any part of this. I don't want any part. I'll shake his hand, but that's it. You know, I might do the arm around the shoulder selfie. No, I'm not. No Handy J, no BJ, no nothing. No.
Pass out the towels or something. I don't know, man.
I'm not passing you or him a towel. Fuck you.
At least cheer him on. Give him fucking words of encouragement.
No.
That was a face.
No. No. God.
All right.
Can we talk about the con, man?
Hey, man, Kansas City. I don't know, man. The DCS you got in the way, and we're coming. We're coming for you. Sid Haig, baby. 80th birthday party. This is going to be cool, man. Just get you guys, listen, these things happen all over the fucking states. It's relatively cheap to get here from. I'm coming in from fucking Detroit, man, and it's like I'm under $200 on the thing, so not bad at all. We're going to get down there. We're going to be walking around there fucking with everybody. We got trivia questions to ask. You can tell us why you think horror is cool, and
we got T-shirts to give away or sell. Yeah, you know,
we're gonna get you set up. We're gonna get you in uniform and in the DCS Society.
Find us. We're gonna be there all weekend. But Zigzag and I will be down there at Kansas City. We're looking forward to seeing you fans at Crypticon, July 12th through the 14th. It's kind of my birthday gift to myself. So
he deserves it. Come and buy him a beer, for fuck's sake.
Beer? Buy me a rum and coke. Give me a little Sailor Jerry and let's talk some horror.
The man knows what he wants. Yeah, we'll definitely be ready to talk some shit.
No. Fuck. No. God damn it.
I didn't say it.
I know. God damn it, Colonel.
Hey, man, I mean, it's not all the time we can get this shit together and get on the same page and get out to these. You know, this is a rare occurrence to get out to the somewhat a little more west, I guess, than what we normally do. We're kind of Midwest normally is where we're, located. This is going to be fun, man.
Oh, yeah.
You got shit to talk about. You got things horror to discuss, man. We got an answer, and, let's just sit down, have a drink, and hash it all out, man. It's going to be great. I can't wait. I mean, this one, I've never been to Kansas City, Missouri, and just the whole event of itself, Mr. Sid Haig celebrating 80 years on this planet. It's merit enough for me to leave the comforts of Michigan for the strange lands of Missouri.
Yeah. Speaking of strange, I think the Zag's going to be trolling the strange in Kansas City, if you know what I mean. So, watch out, ladies.
Better have your Dennis Quaid mask ready.
Fuck. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for Stories Around the Campfire. We'll be back. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. Fucking Colonel.
I'll be right back. Don't get dressed.
Oh, fantastic. Holy.
Glass. Do you like Death Curse Society?
Support the DCS by advertising with us. We have several different ways to advertise. Sponsor a segment or a complete show, 30 or 60-second commercials, product placements or service discussion, banner ads with links on our interactive website, full website page sponsorships, get Facebook and Twitter mentions from our host or special guests, special shout-outs on our YouTube channel, and more. You can even advertise regionally through our website and keep your costs down, or ask about our package deals to save even more. Visit our website at deathcursesociety.com and click on the advertising sponsorship link under Contact on the main menu. Thanks.
All right, we're back with Death Curse Society, and it's time to talk to you guys, the fans. Let me ask you a question.
Here's Johnny.
All right, we got two questions for Let Me Ask You a Question this time around, both from Craig D on Twitter. Sorry, dude. I'm very susceptible to having a last name pronounced, so I know how it is. I don't want to screw up your last name, so I'm just going to call you Craig D. Hope that's all right. He's giving us the D.
I bet I get it. All right, watch this. What's up, baby? You remind me of the 20 letters in the alphabet.
There's 26 letters in the alphabet.
Silly me. How could I forget the U-R-A-Q-T? Give me
a buzzer. Give him a buzzer. He's still, no, hell no. That's only 25. He's still missing one. He can't count.
I'm sorry. Silly me. You can get that D later.
That's not cool. Never mind. I didn't say that. But Craig D says, with people getting tired of the zombies, what will be the next big horror fad that every production company tries to cash in on? Let's go with Colonel on this one.
Oh, making me lead on this one. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, zombies are big there for a little bit. I think we're coming to the end of the whole haunting fad. That should be coming to an end here soon. Selfishly, I'm really hoping it's the Universal gets their shit together and we get the new fad to be back to the classic monsters.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, selfishly, I would love to see that and see it done right. I mean, these are right for a retelling, man. Gosh, please, Universal, don't fuck this up like you already have and do it right this time. I want the classic monsters, man. Please be the next fad.
Well, and Universal's got a new project based on that storyline in development with Lee Wannell as a screenwriter and maybe even a director. So that's something that might work. I see him, the screenwriter from Saw, maybe being able to breathe a different kind of life into that. So it could work. Ziggy, what do you think, trend-wise?
I agree with that. Just to expand on Colonel there, Universal is due for a reboot, a proper reboot. You know, don't fuck the stars and get on the story and stuff like that. Yes. Don't worry about Tom Cruise and $20 million a picture. Write the fucking scripts and do it right. That's all I got to say about that. But as far as trends, you're right, man. The zombies are pretty much played out. And I said when they first took off, probably with 2004's retelling of Dawn of the Dead, I'll ride this as long as we can. I hope it sticks around a long, long time. And boy, it has it. I guess what I'm expecting, not really what I'm hoping to see, what I expect is a grasp at the doppelganger angle, the clone kind of thing probably is going to take off with us doing as well as it did. I don't know. I mean, it just seems like that's probably the most untapped resource that we haven't really seen too much on yet. So, yeah, I'm going to go with that.
I'm not quite sure the zombie fetish is over yet, but it's to that point where it's being drilled into the ground a little too much. I mean, The Walking Dead is getting a third spinoff coming up in 2020. Yeah. They just announced that Warm Bodies, I don't know if you remember that movie from 5 or 6 years ago, Nicholas Hoult. They're doing a TV series of that fairly soon. So that is another kind of zombie, different take on a zombie movie, but that's going on. Here are my two predictions on trends. Yes, I see like a distorted view of reality kind of coming into fanfare right now. Like The Us, like Get Out even. Kind of like Ma and The Intruder. I see films like that kind of being the new trend thing. Not quite your typical horror where there's some kind of mythical or supernatural being that is doing all this, but kind of real people doing horrific things. That's one trend that I see kind of on the rise right now. And of course, everyone's trying to emulate Jordan Peele anyway right now because he's the hot dick. Get on that, Zach. Secondly, the other trend I have kind of seeing going on is like a lot of movies like Halloween that kind of reboot and do a sequel at the same time, taking a piece from, like Halloween did, they just went from the original movie and then did a 40-year-old sequel. I see stuff like that possibly happening. I mean, we're going to have reboots and remakes all the time, every year, forever. I mean, because we got the Child's Play reboot, we got Swamp Thing reboot, we got all kinds of stuff. But I see some other projects, hopefully, going from an original storyline like Halloween and doing stuff like that. I think that might be a way to do some of this. We'll see. I hope not, because I don't see that working with a whole lot of projects that I love out there. Possibly a Friday the 13th, but I can't see them doing 40 years between the first one and the next one. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, we're about to miss out on the 40th anniversary anyway because of this lawsuit.
Right. Well, I'm just using that as an example. I mean, Nightmare on Elm Street, I don't see that working in that respect. Hellraiser, possibly. Something like that. Beetlejuice would have been great if they would have done that right, but that project seems to be tossed.
Yeah, it's done. It's dead.
Yeah. So those are my predictions. You know, more kind of a twisted view of reality, realistic horror, and then the long-form sequel / reboot.
I just don't see him getting the like the polish like that Halloween 2018 got if they were going to do these 40 sequels, 40-year sequels. It'll probably be lower end studios, and therefore it just won't work. You know, that's the way it seems to me.
Yeah, I don't see it working, but I'm shocked that we haven't heard more about projects like emulating a Halloween.
You got to have the cast. You got to have the people come back, and I don't think a lot of them are willing to do that, or maybe the scripts just aren't good at all. Right. You know.
We got another question from Craig D. His second question is, what are your favorite guilty pleasure horror movies? Ones panned by critics and fans of the genre, but that you love. You guys already know mine probably because I've mentioned it a few times through the show. Ziggy, start with us on this.
So these are just bad horror movies that we like, kind of thing?
Bad horror movies that you like, that you just can't help but love.
Extra comes to mind. The Dead Next Door probably are the two I would say. I have to watch them as shitty as they are, as awful as they are, as terrible as they are. The Dead Next Door, J.W. Bookwalter's masterpiece, direct-to-video, 1991. It's the worst zombie movie you'll ever see, the worst acting you'll ever see, but it's so bad that it's good. It's entertaining on this level. I mean, and this is the definition of what you asked is The Dead Next Door. So if you haven't seen it, go ahead and check that shit out.
Yeah. Colonel, what about you?
Oh, man, this is a hard question, actually, because I really don't like to. I mean, people like what they like. I try not to shit on it too much unless you come at me saying, "Oh, I love Twilight," and you're not a teenage girl or early 20s at this point. I mean, as you guys know, I'm a really big fan of Rob Zombie's Halloween. I know the majority of horror fans. I mean, I can't say it's a guilty pleasure because it's really not. I think it's a good horror film. Right. A lot of fans just shit on it because it's Rob Zombie Halloween. It's different than the original. I guess I have to say Captain Kronos Vampire Hunter.
Oh, shit.
I fucking love that movie, man. Captain Kronos is a straight fucking pimp. Can't help but watch it. I'm running around with a fucking purple jacket wrapped around my shoulders like, what's up, bitch? Just riding horse. What'd you do to get arrested? I danced on a Sunday. You're free. Now, dancing is good. I mean, I don't know.
I would pay good money to see that cosplay if we ever, if I make it up to Indianapolis in September, goddammit. I want to see that.
Done and done.
We'll make it happen.
My guilty pleasures are pretty cheesy. I'm a huge fan. I know it's dumb, but I'm a huge fan of Student Bodies. It's fucking stupid, but I love it. The fact that it was it was probably the first horror parody that I remember, besides maybe Saturday the 14th.
There was one called Wacko. It was right before Student Bodies. Andy Dice plays in it.
Yes, that's true. I forgot about that one for a minute. But I like Student Bodies a lot just because of the dumb humor. And it really, I mean, it goes over the top with just the stupidity. It's just a fun movie for me. Another one, probably from around the same time frame, was April Fool's Day. I know a lot of people just shit on that movie, but I still have a half chub for Amy Steele. I don't care who what she does. I love you, Amy Steele. She's in it. She's great in it. It's got Biff from Back to the Future in it. I mean, come on. And there's a decent hook to the movie. I like the hook to the movie. I think it's a clever twist. It didn't necessarily play out the way it should. It probably could have, but I like the twist.
It's a Friday clone.
Yeah. And then third is a weird one, and I haven't seen it in a long time, but I just thought about it while I was asking the question, is Night School. Do you guys remember this one? With the biker, the guy with the biker helmet and the cleaver. Do you remember this one?
I do.
Yeah. Weird 80s movie. I watched it through the 80s and the 90s every time I saw it come on. It's a piece of shit, again, but it's one of those that I like.
Again, a piece of shit's a piece of shit. But that could be a nice piece of shit. Remember that.
There's a million of them. Toxic Avenger.
Oh, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yes.
Yeah.
What was that one?
Night of the Creeps. For God's sake, you know? Chopping Mall.
Now, how about this one? Maximum Overdrive.
Oh.
Zag, fuck you.
Nah, that's a fucking masterpiece, except for the acting of one, whatever the hell his name was with the red hat.
Well, Craig D., thank you for your questions. Keep in mind, guys, you can always ask us a question on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or, if you send us a video, we may use it on the show. That's going to wrap it up for Death Curse Society this time around. I would like to give a special thanks out and a shout out to Filmora, wondershare.filmora.com. That's where we got our video editing software that we use to make this show look as good as it does. Appreciate it, Filmora. Good stuff. Colonel, send them out.
Be sure to visit our website at www.deathcursesociety.com. Follow us also on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. And don't forget, where you guys watching us right now? YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click that notification icon. Stay up to date with us on YouTube.
That's right. Ziggy.
Hey, you see that funky, fresh T-shirt my boy Mr. Crank is wearing? We've got one for you, too. All you have to do is hit me up on the website there. There's a link that'll take you to paypal.me/zigzagisDCS, and I'll get you hooked up. They're $20 each for the small through extra large, and the 2X and above are $25. Get them today and tell the world that you are DCS. All right, guys, don't forget, we've posted from Motor City Nightmares last weekend, the Hellraiser Cinnabite reunion panel. It's posted now on the site. Get up there and check it out.
That's right. Very good panel, too. Good nuggets of information and some good humor from those guys. Our next episode is going to be May 23rd. We're going to talk about, can Dennis Quaid actually be a scary intruder? We're going to check out the intruder, and we're going to come back and talk to you about it. For the Colonel, for Zigzag, this is Red Crank saying DCS out, and we'll see you next time. Have a good one.
DCS out.
Woo! Zigzag, paypal.me. Whoa!
You had a Colonel moment. Yeah, once we get that simplified, I'll gladly do the T-shirts as long as it's that crazy shit. I'm like, follow the link on the page.
I don't think I can quickly fix this.
Think anyone will notice it's gone?
I don't know.
Also, I'd like to let you fine folks know to visit our website at www.deathsecurity. No, Death Curses.
Fuck!
Oh,
Fuck.
shit. Got whacked in the head again.
Coming down.
Tape. Yeah, they'll never notice.
I could just hold it.
Yep.
There you go. All right.
That's it. Yeah, I don't know, man. This may turn on me this year.
Watch somebody send this to Dennis Quaid and be like, did you see this? These guys want to suck your dick.
Oh, I suck your dick off.